I'm muted! Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends behind the banner. We're here, we're queer, we're full of fear, and we are playing, well, we're not. I'm casting an NGS Div B East game. It's Midnight of Mummies against Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Special shout out to Silver for helping me pronounce that, because that would have been a nightmare. I have sticky notes on my monitor that help me out. So if you see me do this, I'm looking at a sticky note at any point. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. Best of 3, if you're not familiar with NGS, best of 3, Midnight of Mummies against Chien, Chaud. Steamé, know a couple of the names. And I'm excited to get into it. Let's go to maps real quick. Amazing. So, Midnight of Mummies banned out Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Chien, Chaud, Steamé banned out Brax's Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity, which I was surprised about. Battlefield being banned. Sorry, I think I'm a bit loud. And then Chien, Chaud, Steamé are going to take us to Dragon Shire, almost said Dragon Knight, for the first game. Somebody in the lobby thought I was a different psycho. I have run into this other psycho. We've never actually spoken. I fear that if we did, there may be a black hole. / we will reach the heat death of the universe immediately. The O sound is in boat. Boat? Chaud? Oh dear. Oh, we'll make it. Sticky notes. Yeah, they're there. They're helping me out. If I pronounce it incorrectly, I apologize. It's not like I'm a Canadian. I am. Spoilers. And French is our country's second official language. Oh dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did have to sing the national anthem in French. Greymane being banned out right off the top. Chaud? That's Chien, Chaud. Right? Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Anyway, sorry. Chien, Chaud, I hope that's right. Chaud? Steamé. Banning out Greymane. And then Midnight Mummies banning out Johanna. I would think that the Greymane ban's probably like a bit of a target. Bit of a target ban. I mean, he's strong, but it comes with a really steep cost if you bite off more than you can chew, pun intended. Anduin being banned out in that second slot. Sorry, are people on the other? They're actually on the other way around, aren't they?
It's a perfect day for some
on the left. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Swap teams. There we go. Fixed it. Norseman picking up Stitches for... We got things right now. Sorry. Rocky start. Norseman picking up Stitches. The Dwarf picking up Tychus for Chien, Chaud. Chaud, Steamé. Sorry. Chaud. And on the side of Midnight of Mummies, Junkrat being picked up by Nemesis. Really strong pick on Dragonshire. Honestly, I'm liking all 3 of these because Stitches excels out of vision, but also on smaller maps where he can kind of yoink you close to, if not beyond, gates. Midnight of Mummies, you got Z17, I think that is, picking up Right Wing. And Hocket picking up Li Ming. Final ban. Close enough bonus points for fellow Canadian. Thank you. Thank you for letting me off. Anubarak being banned out by Chien, Chaud, Steamé, and Midnight of Mummies. Final ban. Drumroll. If I had that sound effect, I would play it. Alas, I do not. I mean, thinking about what... Unless it's going to be a target ban, they need a bruiser. I don't know if they have a Rexar player on Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Chromie being banned out, actually, which I would imagine is another target ban. Somebody has been banned out. Teams are indeed swapped. Okay, we nailed it. We fixed it in the end. My boy Stukov being picked up by Dax. Really solid pickup on this map, honestly. It makes it painful for anybody to channel any of the altars. And Turdo Diddy, love your name, picking up Tassadar. Also, kind of semi-safe poke as well to stall on picking up the Dragon Knight. So you've got Stukov, who's strong here, particularly, I think. And then for Midnight of Mummies, Junkrat, incredibly strong on Dragonshire. Midnight of Mummies rounding out their draft. You got Bricky picking up May and Andrew picking up Sonya. And what will Silverbell pick? Leoric, amazing. Do love a silver Leoric. Silverbell's Leoric is 10 out of 10. CP, fake Alicia's fake accounts? What is this? I need filling in here. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Hector. Okay, we're getting into it then. We have 2 wonderful Div B East teams here. Gonna jump into Dragonshire for the first game. And I'm excited to see how this plays out. I feel like I haven't casted for years. That's not the case. It's probably only been a week. But time is a construct. I'm excited to see also particularly what alts people pick up. I mean, with Silver picking up the Leoric combined with the Stukov, obviously that means you kind of get the Silence Entomb right at 10 for quite cheap as well. It's not really big cooldowns. Well, let's get into it.
Prepare for combat.
Okay, on the left, on the blue team, on Chien, Chaud, Steamé, we have Silverbell on Leoric, the Dwarf on Tychus, Norseman on Stitches, Dax on Stukov, and Turdo Didi on Tassadar. And on the right-hand side, on the red team, on Midnight of Mummies, we've got Andrew on Sonya, Hocket on Li Ming, MZ17 on Braywing, Bricky on May, and Nemesis on Junkrat.
Let the battle begin.
This'll be good.
Already looking at talents here to see what's going on. Reactive Ballista Spores from Stukov. Dax could be looking at that Sonya and thinking, well, if I'm going to get leapt on. Swing and a miss hook there, but I do actually really appreciate Dax dropping the puddle there immediately, trusting in the Stitches. Working that muscle memory. If Stitches hooks and there's a puddle, if the hook hits, great. If it doesn't, you're practicing hitting it for when there is a target that's been hooked. You love to see that kind of thing. So if you're not familiar with Dragonshire, typically what teams will do, and you can see them doing it here as well, is top is solo, and then the 4 will rotate mid to bot. Ricky on May there doing a really great job of dodging a hook, but also just slowing rotation and giving Midnight of Mummies some solid vision. Looks like Midnight of Mummies pick up their siege camp just a little bit quicker than Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Bricky getting incredibly low, does get hooked back. That is the trait popped by Bricky. Bricky chucking a snowball out to live on 200 HP. That blind coming in clutch there. Good job. And a spray. And it's the May. It's the May Carbot spray. Just May things. Hook unfortunately not finding the target there. 3-person silence, and a very, very clean, quick first Dragon Knight of the game going over to Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Taking it down mid. Hocket on the side of Midnight of Mummies. Coming up to mid to take some HP off this Dragon Knight. Speaking of the Dragon Knight, it is Tychus that is in there. And doing some work, just likely going to get the 2 cannon towers down in mid, and then he's backing up. We've actually got Sonya, Andrew on Sonya rotating through into mid, and Brightwing teleporting to top. Sonya off, Sonya getting booted there for you know, just send a message. Just send a message. Sonya rotates, gets booted. Nemesis here on Junkrat, and Ricky or May actually getting quite low there. So, I mean, what did Chien, Chaud, Steamé get out of that? They got pretty well, like, half of both cannon towers down here and the gate, and then in mid, the Dragon Knight got both cannon towers. Bricky backing up here, the top off on mana, so it is a 3v3 here in bot unless Tychus rotates, but Tychus is just finishing stuff off here. Both of the walls, the side walls go down, the gate goes down, because the dwarf is like, no. We don't want walls, because walls are bad for Stitches. Of course, Stitches can't hook, sadly, through a side wall. 4v2 actually for Midnight of Mummies right now. Stukov and Tassadar splitting off to catch a wave mid and then likely rotate over onto this bruiser camp. While they're doing that though, this might be a little bit slow going actually and cost a little bit of mana. Both teams sitting level 7, and Midnight of Mummies, 4 members of their team are pushing in onto this neutral bruiser camp in bot. So I'd say maybe Midnight of Mummies actually comes out on top of that. Of course, neutral camps being pretty harder to get typically. They use the knowledge of course, Stukov and Tassadar rotating up. They use that knowledge, that vision, to pick up the neutral camp. Down here, denying Chien, Chaud, Steamé. And then they rotate over. Junkrat, Brightwing, and Li Ming making short work of their siege camp. And for Chien, Chaud, Steamé, Dax, and Chaud picking up their siege camp here with the dwarf. Got Norseman on Stitches already setting up here on this point. Junkrat coming in, scouting with a satchel and a trap for good measure. Stitches, Norseman is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I'm not sure if Midnight of Mummies had all the information that they needed there. I wonder if they, all 4 of them, went deep in onto Norseman. They might have been able to get the pick. Despite the boot there from Nemesis on Junkrat, the second Dragon Knight incredibly cleanly and quickly. We're at the 5-minute mark and we've already had 2 Dragon Knights. Going over to the side of Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Typhus once again in it. That was a big kick, and then I apologize, I miss a kill there. Tassadar taking down Junkrat. Chien, Chaud, Steamé actually with the Dragon Knight as well as level 10 advantage too. Ricky is going to have to be careful here. This is a 3v1. Not that Chien, Chaud, Steamé necessarily know that, but it is a 3v1. I mean, May has all sorts of escapes and survivability, so it shouldn't be a problem. But the first structure going over to Chien, Chaud, Steamé in the bot lane, and they also have this nice camp here too that Midnight of Mummies are going to have to clean up. But it is Junkrat, and that'll be no problem. Hook swinging and a missing again. Love to see that silence popping up there. Typhus, ooh, yeah, Midnight of Mummies were looking to kind of make something happen on Typhus getting out the Dragon Knight at the end there, but a good wall from Tassadar. Stop that from happening. Midnight of Mummies now rotating over to pick up their bruiser camp. And again, amazing hook silence right there. That's inspiring. So Chien, Chaud, Steamé now know, obviously, where Midnight of Mummies are. They pick up their bruiser camp, taking it down mid. In terms of level 10 abilities, we have on the side of Chien, Chaud, Steamé, Commander Odin. Why did I say Commander Odin? Everyone knows it's just called Odin. That's a big leap coming out from Andrew on Sonya onto 2 members of Chien, Chaud, Steamé, followed up by a Li Ming ult, and they both go down. Stukov and Tassadar 2-for-0 trade on the side of Midnight of Mummies. That was quite explosive, that was. So speaking of ultimates that made those 2 kills happen, we have a Odin. Thank you, Typhus, for demonstrating that kindly. Entomb from Leoric, Archon from Tassadar. That was a good hook there onto Hookit. Nice. Sorry, Hookit. But teleports away no problem because Li Ming gets a Brightwing heal there as well. Archon from Tassadar, Gorge from Stitches, and Flailing Swipe actually from Stukov. Mei is looking to do a big avalanche, but actually Stitches is like, I'm gonna eat you. If you want to do that, I'm gonna eat you. As soon as Ricky comes out of that stomach, does pop the trait, but will it be enough to get out there on 69 HP? Brightwing tops him off, and somehow, during all that, Tassadar gets a kill. Sorry, Li Ming gets a kill on Tassadar there. So 1-for-0 trade, where it was looking the opposite in favor of Midnight of Mummies. Nice and quick on the camp draw, Nemesis, and
Take hold of the shrine.
MZ17 or Hook it.
The Dragon Knights
Rolling around to their siege camp, and they'll pick that up nice and quickly. Unfortunately, Stukov is going to need a hand here, no pun intended, because he has a very big, very hard-hitting hand, but it's just not enough to clear a camp particularly quickly. Norseman and Todo Diddy coming around to help out as well. Norseman's got to be careful going through this. Dorito of Death does get rooted into likely another root from Mei, and that is a very dead Stitches. Hook it and Nemesis doing a very good job to follow up on the CC brought there by Mei and the trap. So, ults picked up by Midnight of Mummies, Disintegrate from Li Ming, Leap from Sonya, Avalanche from Mei, Blink Heal from Brightwing, and the Riptire, which I like to call the Beyblade, from Junkrat. Yeah, I think actually, Iron, if Stukov had picked up Low Blow, that might have been a bit of a different story there. But we are seeing reactive Ballista Spores at 1, so extra healing. If you get jumped on, which makes sense when you're playing against a Sonya Leap, of course you can just push a button to then spread weighted push-all. Having said that, it didn't seem to help them too much when they got Stukov and I think it was Tassadar got picked right here. Right here. Oh, I've accidentally locked on to Turdo. Uh-oh. I hate it when this happens. Oh, Norseman actually picking up a nice hook and gorge onto Li Ming. Li Ming is not going to be able to move out of that. Here's the part where I push a bunch of hotkeys to try and... There we go. We crushed it. So 1-for-0 trade there. Actually, no. When did... Somebody died. Tychus died at one point and I missed that and accidentally locked onto someone and then distracted things. So, in top lane. 3v3 up here. And nothing too untoward. The vision, of course, from Tassadar on the side of Chien, Chaud, Steamé can really help out Norseman on Stitches. Because any character that brings vision immediately makes Stitches more lethal. Because all Stitches needs is he needs eyes on people, and then he can hook them, and then all of a sudden that person's dead. Hook onto Sonya there. Andrew should be able to walk away. Silver Belt coming up. It's 2 frontline. That was a leap that I'm not sure what was happening there. I'm not sure if they expected to try and leap over the bush and it didn't quite work. Big Entomb there as well coming out to try and actually capitalize on the fact that Andrew's leap is down. Unfortunately, Silver is now silenced. Pocket is coming around as well with Disintegrate, and this is turning quite quickly the other way. 3 against 2 in top lane here. Silver Bow taking a chunk of damage, but does live because they have a healthy pull. There's so much action going on here. Stukov getting taken down by Nemesis here. Bricky, though, is on 200 HP in a dream, trying to ping for the Brightwing teleport, I think. Tassadar picking out Nemesis there. So 1-for-1, 2-for-1 trade, technically, but on opposite sides of the map in favor of Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Lime, thank you. Click a number and then press E. Yeah, I think I pressed L and it fixed it. Hey, look at that. Shattering trap. Norseman's like, no. And then it hits a minion. Poor minion. Alright, looks like actually Silverbell's getting rotated on here. Andrew, MZ17 and Hocket all coming up here to try and make something happen. Intense misclick or a show of dominance. Chat, you decide. See, look, Tassadar using the Oracle again to not only give vision, which is obviously solid information so people can rotate safely and make good decisions, but also for that hook vision as well. Chien, Chaud, Steamé, channeling both altars. Dragonite is ripe for the picking. We got 4 members of Midnight of Mummies. here to stall it out, and with a lot of safe stall tools. That was a good teleport from Hookit there to dodge the hook from Norseman. Bricky rotating up, hanging out in this Death to Rio. There is a camp in bot as well. I really don't want to go off of this mid fight though, but there is a camp. Chien, Chaud, Steamé got a camp that's rocking up bot lane and keeping Junkrat. Oh, big leap, but unfortunately misses into a massive shove. And that all started off with a bit of an avalanche as well, so there's been a lot of expensive buttons pressed. Speaking of expensive buttons, kind of, and then Tomb comes out into a silence onto Mei, but without the low blow, it's not going to do too much, and unfortunately Silverbell pays the price there. Junkrat's Beyblade coming in after cleaning up that camp in bot lane. They've got to be careful now. Chien shows Steamé it's a 5v4. Brightwing teleporting. Junkrat, Nemesis getting hooked there and unfortunately boops themselves in the wrong direction. 1-for-1 trade so far. Oh, hook onto Brightwing here. Do you have a blink heal? Yes, you do. Onto Li Ming. Hookit staying close by. Takes half health worth of damage there. Just to stay as Brightwing's anchor. The silence looking to stop the pursuit. And no more than 1-for-1 goes down in mid. It looks like Chien and Steamé are posturing to try. Oh, big hook onto MZ17 through the bush. But hook it on Li Ming there again. Allowing the blink heal to dodge on 100 HP. Well done. Chien shows Steamé another hook, and Brightwing can't save you this time, unfortunately, into the gorge, which might not have been necessary. This gorge might save Hookit. Big teleport there to dodge, unfortunately not. The Brightwing teleport could not come fast enough. That was some lovely micro right there. The power of Stitches when out of vision cannot be understated. Leap being used defensively to get out. Chien shows Steamé third Dragon Knight, third objective of the game, going over to them. They're also rapidly approaching level 20 as well, so they will have the level 20 talent tier advantage. Norseman pinging down here to try and look for another cheeky hook. This is what you love to see. Hook, MZ17 in here, not looking good, in a silence, can't teleport. That's a very dead fairy dragon. It's looking very good for Chien shows Steamé. Really good play right here. They're level 20 up, and they just killed the healer who is down for 50 seconds. With Tychus's Odin popped here, that's some incredible siege potential in bot and in mid with the objective. It's kind of like having two objectives, I feel like, with the Odin from Tychus. It's going to be a tough defense. If anyone can do it, though, Junkrat can. So Andrew might be looking for a leap here, but that would be scary and ill-advised. Hook coming out onto Andrew, actually, who just tried to spin to win. Big satchel from Junkrat, helping with the peel there. Andrew, unfortunately, having to use leap again defensively. Midnight of Mummies are level 20, but that was another big hook. Big shield, though, onto Andrew. Doesn't quite survive it, and unfortunately there's a little bit staggering going on the side of Midnight of Mummies. Brightwing is now back up, but Sonya is down for 55 seconds. Beyblade coming out to try to make something happen here, or at least Chien shall Steamé back off. That was a big kill onto Silverbell, right into an Entomb there. The Entomb almost looked like it backfired a little bit, but the dwarf down to 600 HP, orb in the butt of Stukov. We're now 1-for-1. Technically, kind of, not technically, but you know, Sonya's down for Midnight of Mummies and Leo is down for Chien show Steamé. So you probably see both teams kind of, well, Midnight of Mummies try and do some sort of lane control mid-bot, and then both teams do camps. Norseman here on Stitches is looking for the special. Swings and almost gets Nemesis, and Junkrat's health pool is not particularly large. Having said that, I'm not sure Norseman did have DPS to follow up on that. Ricky looking for a big avalanche out onto Stitches. Team is there to respond though. Chien show Steamé looking to help Stitches out. 600 HP. Will this Beyblade finish it? The dwarf could technically get rid of that. Yeah, okay, nice. Dax and Turdo Diddy there. Oh, unfortunately, Silverbell then caught out in a bad spot. Hook. Hook it and hit and hook it. Hook it on the hook it. But hook it teleports away, no problem. 1-for-0 trade in favor of Midnight of Mummies. It looks like the red team, Midnight of Mummies, are kind of really coming into their own here. Quest being completed there for Leoric. In terms of level 20s, we do have the upgrade to Odin. We have the Silence and Tomb, the upgrade to Archon, Master Hooker, I believe that is, from Stitches, yes. And then I can't remember what Stukov's is called, but it heals more when he's at higher health. Top off, there we go. Everybody on the side of Midnight of Mummies down here to get this neutral camp. That was a hook. You're Norseman, you're by yourself and you gorged May, and I don't know if she's got avalanche up. Okay, you're fine. Oh, I'm stressed. Hook there onto Bricky again, though. Means that... Oh, big three-person entomb from Silverbell coming in from mid. Coming out of the freaking rafters there. That was solid, but unfortunately Chien, Chaud, Steamé couldn't make anything of it. And now Dax is low HP. Friendly hook comes out, but it's not enough. And Silverbell goes down to the Beyblade. That's 2 Northern trade in favor of Midnight of Mummies. And they also have the neutral camp pushing up here as well. The spell armor that camp gave them in that fight. They actually also have the siege camp too. But the spell armor did definitely help them there. Fighting under that. That was a good bit of micro there. That was such a big silence entomb, and it was a shame to see nothing come of it. So far, Junkrat's hanging out bot. Hocket's mid just cleared this wave. Most of Midnight of Mummies is between mid and top. Junkrat is usually an incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm failing on the word. Anchor, there we go, in bot lane on Dragon Show. Oh, I've accidentally clicked on Stitches as well now. Oh, Dwarf getting booped over there, potentially to safety. For some reason I'm locked onto Stitches, my bad team. So level 20s for Midnight of Mummies. You've got Tower Shah. Yeah, Tower Shah's elements. Ignore Pain from Sonya. The upgrade to Avalanche for May. Invisible Friends? No, Speedy Dragon actually for Brywing, and then extra oomph. The upgrade to Junkrat's Beyblade. Oh, Bricky coming in here for a big avalanche. Unfortunately, they'll get the kill, but that might have worked a little bit against them there because Andrew went in at the same time. And the avalanche might not have been necessary, you know, might not have been. But securing the kill, very important. 1-for-0 trade there in favor of Midnight of Mummies. Good scouting. Junkrat knows that Stitches is down there now because of that trap. It's very, very close now. Very close. For being down level 20 at that the defense of the last Dragon Knight, Midnight of Mummies really doing well here to not only stay in it, but actually just to try and like force the issue, you know. Chien, Chaud, Steamé picking up their siege camp, and it's rolling down bot, and Midnight of Mummies are going to respond with theirs as well. The Rito of Death here has been favourable to Bricky on May. Hook coming out, but missing from Norseman on Stitches. Eating that trap, doing the Lord's work, so his team doesn't have to eat that trap. It looks like Chien, Chaud, Steamé are rotating up to try and get the pick onto Sonya. The leap has already come out here, so gonna struggle to get out. Andrew spinning to win. A big avalanche from May helps them out as well. Silverbell on Leoric getting low there for a second, but actually it is Stukov going down. Tychus taking out Brightwing, and May taking out Leoric there. 2-for-1 trade so far for Midnight of Mummies. Big Q coming out from Toto Didi. Bricky's low on 400 HP. Hocket's teleported already and is in. Oh, a big red button and just dodges the hook. 200 HP. 2 members of Midnight of Mummies escaping there with just a whiff of health.
Dragon Knight shall reduce you.
Is this the third Dragon Knight? Objective going over to Midnight of Mummies. Level 24 Dragonite is nothing to shake a stick at. It is gonna march down this bot lane and back up this siege camp. Never mind. The siege camp was just destroyed. Well, a level 24 Dragonite nonetheless is incredible. That was so much damage out into the face of the dwarf on Tychus, who we just saw use Odin in top lane, so doesn't have Odin for the defense.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Keep goes down, Beyblade is out. Big jump from Andrew there onto Dwarf, followed by a teleport from Brightwing. Hook coming out from Norseman here. Chien, Chaud, Steamé are a little bit split, and Dax is on 110 HP. Goes down to a seismic slam from Sonya. Oh, and unfortunately, GG well played to both teams. Oh, Sonya going down there to a big entomb and thwack from Silverbell, but that is GG well played. Game 1 going over to the side of Midnight of Mummies. Pressing all the buttons, sorry. Sorry, team. I'm having a tired one. Okay, so here's the stats. And I'll update the scores on the doors in a minute. Yeah, I feel like early to mid game, Chien, Chaud, Steamé were really dominant, and then as soon as Midnight of Mummies got level 20, it felt like a switch flipped. And they get that one level 24 Dragon Knight and march it through a keep and onto core. Yeah, good game 1. Absolutely, chat. I'm keeping an eye out for the lobby link, and I am going to update this here. So Midnight of Mummies won that one. Let's see if I've got this right in the overlay. So if you're just joining us, this is Div B East game. Chien, Chaud, Steamé against Midnight of Mummies. We are moving into a game 2 here. Can Chien, Chaud, Steamé take us to a full 3-game series? We shall see. I think actually, so what happened last for this first game was the teams got switched, and who I had on the left, because Midnight of Mummies is actually home this game, and Chien, Chaud, Steamé are away. So I actually think this. No, okay, cool. It keeps the bans and stuff correct. Okay, perfect. It looks like next map we are going to is Volskaya Foundry. I better not accidentally join Team Name versus ICC Unity's lobby. Whoops. So, it looks like Midnight of Mummies went first pick, and this must be... Things are just kind of shuffled and my brain gets boggled easily. So I think it will be Chien, Chaud, Steamé that picks this. And I'm just going to double check that. So I have correct, complete and accurate information for all of you lovely folks watching from wherever you're from. I was going to say from home, but you might not even be at home. You'll be somewhere else. You'll be on the bus. For all I know, but it's good to have you here. I'm drinking a Coke Zero zero caffeine, and I feel like I should have had one that actually had caffeine in it. I swear my casts aren't usually this haphazard. Hockit picked the map. So then Hockit, you picked the map. Yes, okay. So then that's actually Midnight of Mummies that picked it. There we go. We got there in the end. I've got all the buttons in the right places, hopefully. Oh, I love that Midnight of Mummies can just say Mom ready, M-O-M. I just love that. I mean, I don't say mum like that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, if you're just joining us, Chien, Chaud, Steamé against Midnight of Mummies, Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Banned out Braxis Holder and Battlefield for Eternity, and Midnight of Mummies banned out Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. First game was Dragonshire. It was picked by Chien, Chaud, Steamé, but Midnight of Mummies took the first W and then picked the next map, which we are about to get into, which is Volskaya Foundry. When will I learn not to pick Leo into burst damage, Silverbell says. You had some incredible ults, though. You had some incredible ults. It's just, they had a lot of damage. They had a lot of damage. GG, well played, though. Here we go. Let's get into draft for game 2. We live, we learn, we grow, Silverbell. Also, I'm sure when you see you have a Stukov, it's very hard not to go Leoric. Do I have the teams the right way around? I do. Excellent. So, on the left, Chien, Chaud, Steamé. On the right, Midnight of Mummies. See if bans change at all. Solid heroes on this map. Junkrat again. Junkrat, I feel like, is phenomenal on a lot of maps, but the point control, of course, the objective being you have to stand on the point and channel. The Li Ming being banned out, they don't want that anymore. Chien, Chaud, Steamé saw that in game 1 and were like, nope. And Midnight of Mummies return the favor and be like, hey, I saw your stitches. Nope. Not this time. Love to see the respect. Love to see both teams kind of taking in the games as they play them and adjusting. Junkrat being banned out here. Of course, Nemesis on the side of Midnight of Mummies playing that in game 1 and doing a very effective job. Johanna being banned out to close out the first ban phase. First pick going over to, let's see, Stukov. I mean, they played Stukov in game 1, but of course the downside of picking Stukov early is you are showcasing that you don't have a cleanse, but Stukov is solid on this map as well. Again, if you can puddle just in gaps where people are walking out into and off of the point, that's amazing. But Todo Didi, instead of Tassadar this game, is picking up Valor, very strong auto attacker. This time, Stukov going over to MZ17 and locking in with a Varian, tried and tested, very easy to execute combo. If you are looking, if you have a friend and you like to play duo queue, and you're looking for a solid duo.
Oh, this is my jam!
Stukov Varian. Hello. We have Uther main tank being picked up by Norseman, and then Dax on the Lucio. This is incredible. Spicy. Spicy. You love to see it. Final ban phase. Third ban. Gonna come out here real soon from Midnight of Mummies. What are they gonna ban out? Let's see. Chien, Chaud, Steamé need likely a mage. There'll be a bruiser, right? Gazlo, solid here. Jaina being banned out, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I know that, I'm pretty sure Silverbell plays a mean Gazlo, and I've heard very, very good things about Gazlo on this map. But yeah, Uther main tank, I am here for it. I love to see something a little bit different. I know people talk about Uther main tank a lot, but you don't really get the opportunity to, or at least I haven't gotten the opportunity to see it or play it, honestly. Final ban spot. Blaze being honoured with that one, so Chien, Chaud, Steamé being like, hey, Blaze, double soap. Blaze is, I mean, Blaze is just all in all, an incredible offlaner. He might be the best one in my opinion. Hockett picking up Zhou Jin was on a mage last time with Li Ming, so a little bit of a shift there from mage to auto attack, and Andrew swapping from Sonya onto the D.Va. Liking that. D.Va on this map makes sense. Like, her weakness being she can't really move around a lot. She's quite slow on the rotate, but on this map, typically, teams will... it will be the 4-man team that will rotate mid to top, and then D.Va just gets to stay in one lane and kind of come up for objective, which isn't too bad in terms of, like, rotating there. Chien, Chaud, Steamé, lock-in, Silver Bell on the Gazlo. Oh... and the dwarf picking Sylvanas here. Sylvanas is just strong, period. I'm amazed that she made it through actually that far. And Nemesis, instead of Junkrat, is picking Nova this game. This is an exciting game too. I get to see a Nova, and I get to see a main tank Uther. This is going to be incredible. You can see some big, maybe Gravabon, Divine Storm, Rain of Vengeance, Wailing Arrow combos from Chien, Chaud, Steamé. But then, of course, on the other side, you've got the Varian and Stukov combo, which can just blow up a target instantly. So let's see. Very excited for game 2. Thank you for joining me for game 1 and bearing with me fumbling through various different, like, technical whoopsies. Kind of whoopsies. Hopefully you got to see most of the game and enjoy most of the game, regardless of me accidentally hovering over people. So let's get into this one. Volskaya Foundry game 2 of a best of 3 series. On the right side, on the red team, on Midnight of Mummies, we have MZ17 on Stukov, Bricky on Varian, Nemesis on Nova, Andrew on D.Va, and Hockett on Zhou Jin. Be hocking some axes. I like Hockett. You know, like chuck it, I don't know. On the left side, on the blue team, on Chien, Chaud, Steamé, you got Todo Didi on Valor, the Dwarf on Sylvanas, Silverbell on Gazlo, Dax on Lucio, and Norseman on main tank Uther. What talents are we picking up? We've got auto attack build Valor, face build Valor, Dax going the classic Lucio build, ride along on a wall and get progressively better and more annoying as talent tiers, as you work through the talent tiers. Low blow this time being picked up by Stukov on the side of Midnight of Mummies. Love to see it. That's my preferred talent. And Holy Shock build coming out so far for Uther. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think Midnight of Mummies were like, oh yeah, wait, bot lane is solo lane. Let's all leave. We need to be rotating between mid and top, mid and top. Okay, cool. And actually, you're seeing Dax here like stall rotations and such rather than the tank. Of course, the tank in this case is Norseman on Uther. It's probably safer for Lucio to stall and slow down the rotations. Both teams around, it was around the 1 minute mark that camps come up, or it is the 1 minute mark that camps come up on this map, and both teams rotating, the Dwarf and Dax picking up this turret camp for Chien, Chaud, Steamé, and Midnight of Mummies, Hockett has picked up that turret there. Yeah, CP, you definitely missed an interesting draft here. Of course, one thing about Sylvanas, if you are not aware, the reason why she's super strong on this map is because she can buff the turrets. So it just makes it all just a much harder kind of situation to play into on the point when you've got these heckin' big turrets doing extra damage. Midnight of Mummies picking up the heal camp. Of course, no boss on this map. Picking up the heal camp there. Norseman's back it up, almost on half health. Oof. A lot of damage coming out from Midnight of Mummies. D.Va going back to the solo lane. Silverbow doing a great job here. Winning their lane, able to run off and do something else. I like the mount. I like the skin that you've got going there, Silverbow. Alright, now at this point you've got Stukov and Zul'jin picking up the siege camp for Midnight of Mummies, and the Dwarf and Dax picking up the siege camp for Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Both teams kind of similar XP, actually, as I say that. Midnight of Mummies are coming up quickly on like a bit of a whole level lead there, so maybe that was a bit of a caster curse, but you know. Yeah, I'm interested to see what level 10s actually Nova picks up, because hello, that's a taunt out on Turdo DD Valor, but there's no damage follow-up, so that doesn't translate into anything, unfortunately. But Sylvanas does take out Zul'jin top, so it's a 1-for-0 trade for Chien, Chaud, Steamé. I apologize for missing that kill. A turret as well, actually. They got a turret out of Midnight of Mummies as well. So not a bad trade there. Sylvanas sort of maybe thinking about making their way downtown. Because right now it's a 4-for-3, so Midnight of Mummies have Cryo. Good boot on the Diva Bomb, but unfortunately that puts Dax a little bit out of position to heal Uther, and Uther gets blown up. The kill being attributed to Diva right there. Of course, death timers are really low at this point in the game, so Uther will be back up shortly. First objective, smooth as butter. Very quickly, efficiently going over to Midnight of Mummies, who have actually opted to put 2 people in there. So the healer and Varian. Of course, your DPS being a Zul'jin, a hot hit on Zul'jin, can manage his own health, you know. Often yells at you for healing them because they do more damage the less health they have. Valor at 4 minutes and 20 seconds hitting the 50 stacks on their level 1. Of course, getting 3 stacks off of the... Oh, Turdo DD getting incredibly low. 200 HP there. Oof. Nova and Stukov and Varian in the objective. We're looking to finish Valor off. It was very close. Very close. So, a cannon tower and a side wall and half a gate down in mid with the first objective. And most of a cannon tower and half of a cannon tower down in mid as well. Not too bad there. And that will mark the end of that. Does Sylvanas still have the turret? Yes, so the dwarf still has the turret. Varian rotating aggressively here. Of course, does have the taunt. Doesn't look like it. Looks like, never mind. The team were rotating to take out Silverbell and Gazlo, unfortunately, there. So 1-4-0 trade in favor of Midnight of Mummies, who used the bribe to pick up the camp and deny the turret. Midnight of Mummies level 10 coming online. What are we going to see? We're seeing a Taz Dingo from Zul'jin, the Taz Dingo himself. Of course, Varian went taunt at 4. And yeah, we've got the precision strike from Nova. The macro ability of that talent is absolutely ridiculous. Massive shove this time rather than flailing swipe coming out from Stukov. And Bunny Hop from Diva. Bunny Hop, the potential of Bunny Hop around a point that's like tight like this, with people coming in and out of here, that is prime territory for a good Bunny Hop, and silence underneath it as well. Midnight of Mummies now have 2 health packs and are going to use that to push in here. Big arrow coming out on 3 members of Midnight of Mummies. Hockett getting low. Probably does have Taz Dingo, but would like not to use it right now. Yeah. Okay, so successful defense for Chien, Chaud, Steamé, and both teams. Neither team, rather, losing a player. Level 10's online for Chien, Chaud, Steamé, and with that they are actually going to make a move to try and steal this turret camp. Of course, Sylvanas needs minions. Norseman coming out with the stun on Stukov, does use the D-shield to dodge the massive shove. Andrew on point is now Baby Diva. That could go wrong very quickly. Turret's already been put down actually and buffed by Sylvanas. Valor taking out both Mech Diva and Pilot Diva, and unfortunately Bricky going down there on Varian as well. 2-for-0 trade in favor of Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Turdo DD does not need mana. Turdo DD does need mana, but basic attack Valor's like, what is mana? Come on. Okay, with that, the dwarf does pop black arrows on Sylvanas, and they get some free damage here on cannon towers and the gate. During that, MZ17 and Hocket on Zul'jin do get that top camp. Not ideal because it's going down the same lane as the objective, you know, but good play nonetheless. But you know, the dream camp is when you get a camp and it's going down the other lane. But of course, that's a difficult thing to do here on this map with camps being turret and yeah, bot lane just being turret camps. All 5 members of Midnight of Mummies here coming in to steal this. Silence coming out, but Norseman does get away there. So Midnight of Mummies have 1 turret, and Silverbow is going to have to try and clean this up. Actually, to be fair, Chien, Chaud, Steamé could probably just clear this all together on the way up. My gosh, as soon as I move somewhere else, something happens. I've missed so many deaths here. Level 13 coming online for Midnight of Mummies as well. Varian taking out Uther, who will be back in 17 seconds. In terms of ultimates on the side of Chien, Chaud, Steamé, we have Divine Shield for Uther, High Five for Lucio, so that's a nice cleanse. Rain of Vengeance for Valor, Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas, and a Gravel Bomb for Silverbow. Yeah, I like the Divine Shield, in theory, for Valor popping off. Though, do you usually see Divine Shield with a Strafe Valor? I know saying Strafe Valor is just kind of like me throwing up, but I feel like that's the only time you should see Strafe. Big taunt coming out from Bricky onto Valor there into a defensive grabber bomb, and the silence on top of it from Sylvanas. That synergy coming into play there. Tastingo is going to wear off. Does manage to survive and heal in top there. Massive shove coming out, but not translating into much. Bricky is now in an incredibly bad spot. Gets booted back. Big bunny hop here onto 2-3 members of Chien, Chaud, Steamé, the dwarf, getting down to half HP. But this is a bit of a war of attrition here. Nemesis looking to like pick off a low health target, which might be Norseman. 300 HP, gets a W off there. Dax dealing with a turret camp. All that kind of fell there was most of Nova's health and D.Va's mech. And Midnight of Mummies safely securing the heal camp. Big taunt there. Oh, wasting no time. Bricky there charging in and getting the taunt and securing the kill on Uther. Unfortunately, this main tank Uther is getting absolutely destroyed. Now at this point, because they're technically down their main tank, Chien, Chaud, Steamé are like, we're going to go and do other things on the map, which makes sense and is a very good call. Unfortunately, Nemesis on Nova has other ideas and is looking to be a pest / steal things. Chien, Chaud, Steamé though, on the case, do rotate and back up their DPS that was picking up that top camp. Silverbow's probably just going to go through mid, pick up what they can, and then rotate back top because Uther, of course, has respawned and is back, so both teams are at full strength. Nova is doing Nova things and is stealing turrets up there. If you think, hey, how can we, like, counter a Sylvanas? I'm not sure, actually. I can't remember if Sylvanas was locked as the last hero in the complete draft. But, oh, big taunt coming out onto Uther. Uther getting wrecked by the taunt silence. Big grab coming out. Finishing off Zul'jin there. Bricky getting low. MZ17 on 40 HP. Oh my god, the haunting wave there to try and finish them off. But by that point, they'd already tapped. That was close. 1 for nothing trade. No 1 for 1 trade. Forgive me. But level 16s are now online to Midnight of Mummies. And what are they going to do with it? I mean, it's a 4v4. Big taunt coming out again there onto Sylvanas. And the taunt silence is just proving too freaking strong. Objective going over to Midnight of Mummies. And they do have 16, but not for too much longer. 16 should be coming online for Chien, Chaud, Steamé in time for them to defend this. I mean, they'll lose top structure, but anything more than that, at least they've got 16. Sylvanas is down for 8 seconds. Should come back. Norseman getting harassed by Nemesis here, but team responding. Todo Didi going in, looking for the stun into the multi-shot and the puncturing arrow, but Andrew rotating up here. If you keep chasing Todo Didi, you might find yourself in a bad spot. Nemesis survives on like 2 blips of HP, and Chaud does get the turret out of Nova for that. So not bad. Not bad, not bad. Oh, I need to have a fisherman's friend. My throat, team. Once again, Varian and Stukov in controlling the mech here. Which shouldn't be a problem just with their team comp, actually, just thinking about it. Not only can Zuljin control their health, but the other two, like, Nova can be invisible and dodge even taking damage, and then Andrew on D.Va has 2 health bars, so nicely drafted. Big bomb coming out, but that was a big handout there on Norseman, pushing them out of position. Grab a bomb coming out, gets massive shove, does capture Varian and Stukov, and Stukov goes down to a big silence and Valor combination there. Andrew's mech down to 200 HP. Varian is caught out of position, gets knocked by Dax, but Dax gets taken down by Do You Want Axe, who also then takes down Silverbow on Gazlo. It looks like that was a 2-for-1 trade on the side of Midnight of Mummies. Chien, Chaud, Steamé maybe biting a little bit, trying to bite off a little bit too much there. Hey, Siri. Shut up, Siri. Siri just started talking to me. Oh, what a mess. Alright, Nova doing Nova things. Does pick up this siege count with Bribe. Sylvanas must be just raging. Because Sylvanas is all about, you know, buffing camps, buffing turrets. But Nova's like, you can't buff the turret if I steal it. Oh, I'd be potato raging. Chaud, Norseman, the dwarf. Rotating up top to clear this. Midnight of Mummies. 2 structures up. The map is looking very much in their favor. They're gonna get 20 soon here. Yeah, healer, I think just with their team comp, healer can be in the robot. But I'm so used to now just seeing 1 person in it that when I see 2, I'm like, huh. Norseman getting out of trouble. You don't want to be in taunt range. It's a bad thing. Interesting. This is actually an interesting build from Lucio. I'm not used to seeing this. I'm not used to seeing at least 2 of these. Up to 11. And good vibrations. Curious. So, Midnight of Mummies do have level 20, so Chien, Chaud, Steamé should be looking to essentially wait until minion waves get right up to their wall. And, oh, Norseman, you might get picked out if Bricky has anything to do with it. Doesn't, but does go down to half health. Silverbow cleaning up bot here, getting the XP nice and safe. Midnight of Mummies rotating to, once again, steal this siege camp. And looking to make something happen top, because they do know Gazlo is bot here, and they do have Cryo, not only because they have an extra person, but because they have level 20 as well. Chien, Chaud, Steamé have got to be very careful here, as they are being level 20 almost online, but Bricky is looking for a taunt. Forcing out the preemptive kind of heal there, just in case the taunt does come out.
Terminal active.
Yeah, CP, if I'm replay casting, it will be in the tile. Level 20 still not quite online here. Midnight of Mummies rotating because this turret is up in 7 seconds, and they're going to grab that as well. Got a whole arsenal. Pocket's already got a turret. They'll have another turret. They forced out the heal from Chien, Chaud, Steamé. Valor cleaning up mid. Should swing around bot to try and kind of contest this objective. Both teams level 20. Andrew hiding in this bush. Bricky ready for a taunt blow up with MZ to follow up. Norseman looking in a bad spot. Again taunted and does get blown up, unfortunately. Silverbow, big grab onto Stukov and Varian, but doesn't translate into a kill. And now Hookit is going to come back with even more damage here, forcing Chien, Chaud, Steamé to back up. Of course, Uther does have the level 20 where he comes back after a bit. So they've got a second kick at the can, and they did force out some abilities from Midnight of Mummies. Massive shove. Valor is just taking a vacation. Big grab there from Silver onto 3 members of Midnight. of Mummies, but doesn't quite translate into a kill. Good effort. Torn out onto Silverbell, followed by a puddle, but a big D shield, meaning Silverbell lives to see another day. Massive shove there just for the stun onto Silverbell. It connects, and Tazdingo, sorry, I mean hook it, on Zojin, finishing them off. Midnight of Mummies, 1-for-0 trade so far, are looking to make it more, but Bucky taking an insane amount of damage. Valor securing the kill there. Bucky on Varian goes down. Todo Didi almost pays for it, but doesn't, and that makes it a 1-for-1 trade. So Midnight of Mummies maybe, again, just trying to get a little bit too much. All the camps in the world are basically back up. Objectives 45% channeled, so 32% to Chien, Chaud, Steamé, 49% to Midnight of Mummies. And as you can see, all the camps back up. Nemesis using... Oh wow, my brain really wants me to say cleanse, and it is not cleanse, it's definitely bribe. Okay, and then the fortification camp being picked up over here as well. Yeah, they're just going to do all the camps on cooldown, so Midnight of Mummies are kind of like, yep, you can have the objective, but we will take everything else. This wave coming in here as well, Silverbell should be able to clear that up nice and safe, but Midnight of Mummies do see Gazlo and Sylvanas aren't on the point. They're rotating down here to try and maybe they were thinking about getting someone before they channeled and enter the protector. Top lane is looking incredibly... That's going to have to be dealt with at some point. The pressure there. Chien, Chaud, Steamé are going to have to try and make something happen. Silverbell, another big grab onto two members of the enemy team, forcing out the Tazdingo. Lucio popping unkillable on Silverbell. They do walk away. That's a couple of big buttons down for both teams, because I saw a wailing arrow from Sylvanas as well. Bear in mind that it is Uther and Gazlo, so the entire front line for Chien, Chaud, Steamé are in the protector right now. Big shove coming out from the dwarf, not from the dwarf, on the dwarf, being stunned and slowly making it back on a Kodo. Andrew just running some interference. Midnight of Mummies doing a solid defense right here, popping that turret down. This protector will go down no problem. I know Grab-a-Bomb is actually back up, so once Uther and Gazlo are out of this protector, we could see potentially a really huge Grab-a-Bomb. Silverbell's backed out. No, they're just going to do it safely because top lane needs attending to. That's two catapults. So Uther, poor Uther. Poor Uther is stuck in this protector and he's walking it away, but Berkey's trying to get in range for the taunt blow up. Not quite. Okay. Okay, and Valor has completed their level 1. So they'll be Shoestin up a storm. Okay. Chien, Chaud, Steamé picking up this siege camp. Oh no! Unfortunately, poor dear Uther paying the price. Another big grab onto two members of Midnight of Mummies. They do secure that top camp. Dax in a really bad spot onto a bunny. Hop does go down. So far, 1-for-0 trade because Uther, actually 2-for-0 trade, but Uther came back with Benediction. Redemption, sorry. Both teams sitting at level 23 and about 22 minutes in, 48 seconds until Lucio is back. So Midnight of Mummies do very much have prio here. They clear this top camp up, no problem. Todo Didi. Oh, whoa. Sylvanas stepping up into the taunt, but fantastic response from Chien, Chaud, Steamé, and nobody dies. That's a 3v4 there, I think it was. Or I can't count. Either way, some incredible micro right there. Just some really solid grabs coming out from Silverbell, being used like in various different ways. Like there, right there, it was used mostly to peel. If it got like a kill, great. It was used mostly to peel, and it was super successful because Sylvanas is still alive. Right, at this point, Chien, Chaud, Steamé are cleaning up their lanes, and Midnight of Mummies are doing the camp rotation again. So picking up that top camp. Before that, they picked up the heal camp as well, so they got 2 turrets and a heal. Sounds like a bad joke. Oh, actually, they forgot to pick up that turret. Now they've got it. Now they have 2 turrets and a heal. And a 2-level lead. I'm not sure how much that matters at level 24 and level 22, but it might matter. I didn't go through the level 20s. Forgive me. But yeah, Uther, we have Redemption, we've got Summer Anthem, Farflight Quiver, Bolt of the Storm, Miniature Black Hole. On the side of Midnight and Mummies, Armani Resilience, Glory to the Alliance, Push Comes to Shove, Precision Barrage, and Stop and Pop.
An access terminal will be online in a moment.
Objective coming up here shortly, but they do see Silver Bell here rotating between mid and top, and unfortunately that is a dead Gazlo, which is big for Midnight of Mummies. So Silver Bell down for a minute. They could march in onto core and just forgo the objective totally here. They have a heal. They have 2 turrets and a heal, so that's pretty huge as well. So 2 turrets, a heal, 5 members of your team. Against only 4 members of the enemy team. Norseman does drop that turret, but it gets chunked by Zul'jin, who focuses it no problem. Midnight of Mummies drops their own turret, and there's that heal camp as well. Bricky getting knocked back into a core pushback there. Turdo DD trying to chunk Nemesis down on Nova. MZ17 having to use the massive shove to keep Zul'jin alive, who pops the Tastingo and takes Sylvanas out. Big taunt out onto Lucio, but no follow-up DPS. Instead, Todo Didi is just allowed to plow into Nova from the side of the field there. Oh, what an incredible defense. The core anomaly just pushing 3 members of Midnight of Mummies back, and without Nova, I mean, I'm sure Bricky is looking for this taunt onto Todo Didi, and that would be game. But Todo Didi is using the level 20 to great effect. Norseman, unfortunately, only stunning Diva. Taunt out onto Silverbell, but into a D-shield, into a big grab, onto 2 members of Midnight of Mummies. Will it result in a kill? Unfortunately not, and Gazlo's poor ragdolly corpse bounces away. Norseman trying to get away here. Lucio helping that happen. Norseman tapping up there to Todo Didi, unfortunately getting caught out. I think Chien, Chaud, Steamé could have played it a bit slower there. They'd done an incredible job to keep themselves in the game, and I think they could have played it a little bit slower there, and we might have seen that go the other way. Either way, GG, well played to both teams. That is game 2 of the best of 3 going out over to Midnight of Mummies. In credit, honestly, both games were so good. Both teams had some incredible moments. All in all, GG, well played. Poor Norseman, poor Uther. Oh no. It was just too much blow up for the poor man. Couldn't take the Varian Stukov. That is so strong. So strong. I feel like Chien, Chaud, Steamé actually had several answers to it as well, and it just felt like it Varian and Stukov just laughed in the face of all of these actual answers. Like, it was just too strong. Varian and Stukov too strong. Nerf it. 2023. Valor doing some incredible work. Oh my lord. Really popping off at the end there as well. It was I mean, they were popping off the whole time, but like at the end there, just seeing Farflight quiver and them chunking down Varian. I think it was just, unfortunately, a bit of a case of trying to kind of get too much out of the engagement. And that happened a few times, honestly, for both teams throughout both games. But it doesn't change that both games were really, really good. Good fight. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the talents. Yeah, so this Lucio build, I'm used to seeing Accelerando off the wall, not this. Sometimes this, never this. So that's curious. Not that I'm not saying it's wrong, I never see that. Increase the duration of Amp It Up by 1 second. While Amp It Up is active, enemy hero is hit by Sound Wave or push off further, increase its duration by 0.3. I can see the synergy with 4 and 7. Is that anything else odd that I'm seeing? I mean, Nova is a pick. Yeah, vigorous reuptake from Stukov at 4 here. Could have gone either way, I think, with that. Probably got more value out of vigorous reuptake rather than the armor at 4. Because there's only Valor really to worry about. And because Stukov was always with the 4 people rotating, you're always going to get the value off of... like, Healing Pathogen is more than likely always going to be on 3 or more targets. So you're always going to get 30% more healing out because of that. Seeing the upgrade to push comes to shove, super interesting. Usually seeing top off at that point would have made Stukov's healing even wilder. But we did see some really good short range massive shoves to secure kills. So I'm sure push comes to shove did a lot to help that. But yeah. Maybe the other Lucio ult could have saved. Maybe, but you do have Varian with Mortal Strike. I know that Varian can only Mortal Strike on... Is Mortal Strike? Mortal Strike's not the one that reduces the shields. It's the one that reduces the healing. Interesting. Yeah, because if Lucio went Bro Shield... then the ability that just demolishes shields from Varian, I think, would have been the answer. Yeah, he didn't pick Cleanse at 7. We could do an interview. Unfortunately, I haven't had the wherewithal to come up with questions. That's why I haven't offered an interview. My apologies. That's why I haven't offered the interview, because I haven't come up with any questions. Having one of those days, apparently. I need to find out a way. I should ask Lime. How does one do all of the things and then come up with questions? That's what I'm going to ask Lime. Yeah, Uther Cleanse might have. But the thing is, you could have gone Shield here, and you could have gone Cleanse with Uther. But instead you have Cleanse here, and then this Shield. I'm not sure how much all of that would have changed, to be honest, because like Taunt is on such a low cooldown and Puddle is on such a low cooldown, particularly when you get to 13, that there's like no stopping it. It feels like there is no stopping it. I will shoot them a message. Let me see. NGS. Div B. Oh. Yeah, I wish I had some... Thanks, Hockit. I just DM'd you. And thank you for the follow as well. And GG, well played. I was just saying that I'm still very much learning the casting ropes. And sadly, I do not have interview questions. I will remind myself to ask Lime for tips. Let's ask. Oh, where is it? I have my those that are curious. my to-do app is called Aki Flow. It's very good. Ask Lime Boss how to come up with. Yeah, it could have been, Aaron. Could have been. See, we seem to have more questions, honestly, for Chien, Chaud, Steamé. I'm very curious about those picks there. Thanks, Hockit. Yeah, I'm gonna get some training on how to come up with the questions whilst observing and doing everything else, you know. Yay! Actually, Hockit, wait, Hockit, are you still in there? Hey, Hockit. I had a question that literally just came to mind, which was about the Nova pick. My general question being, what was the why?
So, Nemesis has only been on the team for a few weeks, and so we're still trying to figure out what heroes we play together, and we've switched roles up a few times too.
Oh, cool.
So the Nova is actually the second time we've seen it. So I think he just thought it gave us enough bursts to get through the Lucio healing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he's also able to soak pretty well off lane with that, which is kind of crazy. He seems to always lead us in siege.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so honestly, I've seen people use Precision Strike to great siege effect, and it makes me want to play Nova, which is not something I thought I would ever say.
Yeah, whenever I play Nova, I have like 20k.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like...
That's why we lost.
You're like, what's the point? Oh my god. When you saw the Uther pickup, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, so I guess they had Lucio and Uther in the first three.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so Uther's the tank, which means we're gonna have, like, as Zul'jin, I'm gonna be able to just keep hitting them, and they can't slide me or stun me or anything.
Yeah.
And Uther has to run past Varian to get to me, so it's stack all day. Although they did a great job not letting me stack. I didn't get to 150 stacks until level 25.
Wow. So literally the very last second. My god.
Yeah, right. So we killed Uther a few times, and I would get maybe 3 shots in, and then he would be dead, and then the rest of them would run away. We didn't have any long protracted fights, which is usually what happens when they have double healer.
Yes, I was very surprised at that as well. Just kind of, you guys really... Uther got the 6 deaths at the end, and I was like, oh, poor Uther, you guys. Oh, it just felt like the Varian... Like, what do you think did it for you guys? I feel like the Varian Stukov combo was just too strong somehow, but I'm not sure if that's actually...
Yeah, so if Uther can't heal himself because he's silenced, then they've really only got 1 healer. Oof. And Uther's not that sturdy a tank. But Bricky would want everyone to know that he used to be the #1 Varian in North America, and so he knows exactly what he's doing.
Well done, Bricky.
Yeah.
My lord. Yeah.
You'll have to verify that independently.
We'll have to fact check afterwards. Oh yeah, chat says Zul'jin playing into auto attack Valor is also probably fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. I can trade with her, but she never really was out front because Varian would end her life if she did. So it was always just stacking on Uther or Gazlo. And then really what the scariest thing was the Gravabomb, because the first 2 times he caught me, I died. And so I just waited until that was out before I did anything after that.
Oh, that makes sense. Good adjustment. Did you have any standout moments, like, for y'all? Obviously, in, like, game 1, it kind of felt like Chien, Chaud, Steamé were really quite dominant early in mid-game, and then it was almost as if you were defending down level 20, and then after that, it felt to me like some switch flipped, and I was wondering kind of how that felt on your side of things.
So that comp they had, we felt that they outdrafted us. As soon as the draft ended, we're like, what the hell happened? What? So they took Tychus and Tass, which are my 2 favorite assassins, and then if someone's playing Stitches, I want Tychus. But the only hero that I felt was safe was Ming, because I can dodge a hook with
and you did that so well. I even caught it. I was like, oh my god, look at that. Oh my.
But Stitches still was amazingly successful at hooking us
Mhm.
and gorging, and you know, we're dead. So if Stitches can continue that at level 20, then we lose. But we started talking more about it. It's like, just dodge the hook, we'll be fine. And
Yeah,
then we just banned it game 2 because we know we're terrible at Stitches.
I see. Yeah, so you kind of rallied. You kind of rallied at focusing on dodging hooks, and then kind of went from there.
Right.
Yeah,
We
because
had a little bit more damage than them if they missed the hook.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, if they missed the hook, it seemed like you guys really did. It was really great. Both games were really great to watch, but yeah, Stitches was definitely going into nice invisible places, and then like hooking a
Right.
Brightwing, and then
Yeah, our poor healer.
yeah, the
He's
poor
like,
healer.
He was lamenting that he never even saw it coming.
Oh yeah, and there was one point when they invaded your camp. I think Stitches ended up getting like 3 hooks out, and your poor Brightwing was like, I have to leave. And then
Yeah.
Li Ming gets hooked, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, the blink heal saved him a few times, and my teleport saved me a few times.
It did.
But it was mostly too much until level 20, and then we the Sonya leap was helping us initiate, and
Yeah.
May started to get her act together.
Oh, May.
And May is tricky because you have to get those angles right, and if you don't get the guy into the blizzard, they just leave. Like Tychus was very fast.
Yeah.
And kept just leaving when we wanted to kill him.
That's very inconsiderate of Tychus.
Right, but at least they weren't trying to kill us. It was just running away all the time.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
was us running from Stitches and them running from May.
it's just a lot of running.
Yeah, it was not a very confrontational game.
Oh, I don't know. And then game 2 coming out with the Zul'jin, you know, it feels quite. And then the Varian Stukov, that was definitely confrontational. Love
Yeah,
it.
they were vastly different games.
They were. Either way, both were really great. And thank you for your patience on me coming up with interview questions. I
Oh, yeah,
appreciate
it was really hard to find you because I tried to message you in HOTS and it says you're not accepting messages from players not on your
Oh,
friends list.
does it? Oh,
Yeah.
I am. I mean,
So as
actually,
a-
that makes sense because I get a lot of guff, you know, when you Storm League.
But as a caster though, you have to kind of be a public personality.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should change it and then
Just
just
mute individuals.
yeah, block anyone that hurls vitriol at me because that
Right,
happens.
which is lots of people. Right?
It is. I
It
don't know.
happens to everyone.
I don't know if my list will be long enough. Anyway, thank you for your time.
And thank you for testing.
Yeah, GG's again.
I can't wait to watch the stream. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
My classic E. Yes. That was, in case you all don't know, chat, that was Hockit. We played Li Ming and then Zul'jin. We actually got some insight, and I actually came up with some questions. Awesome! Thank you very much for the raid, Shruff's Law. I'm sorry that I missed that. Thank you, Iron, for the shout out. We got some insight there into both games. I'm Psychopaths. If you're new here, I stream 3 times a week. Currently Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I also heal on ICC Crystal Gems, Div C East? West? I don't know. I think it's East. Anyway, I am going to stop the stream to discard the 30-second delay, and then I'll be back with some Storm League action with my pal Ironflare. But if you are leaving at this point, thank you for being here, thank you for hanging out, thank you for chatting, thank you for lurking. If you didn't chat, that's more than okay. And this will go up on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, hello, this is past Psychopants, and if you would kindly drop a like and or subscribe, cool. If not, that's cool too. Right, I'll be back soon. Everybody hydrate or dehydrate, and hopefully see you back in a sec.